इस लेसन में हम 9 essential rhythmic patterns explore करेंगे that are vital to sight reading and improvisation. First, we're going to learn the difference between pulse and rhythm. Then we're going to learn how to subdivide a beat. We're going to learn how to combine smaller rhythmic elements to create additional patterns. And then we're going to learn how to internalize these patterns by vocalizing and clapping them. And finally, we're going to take them to our instruments and learn how to play a major scale using all of these 9 patterns. तो आप ये 9 essential rhythm patterns सीखने के लिए तैयार हैं? Let's dig in and find out. Musicians के बीच में एक जोक है. How do you get a guitar player to shut up? You put some sheet music in front of him. I used to be that kind of a musician, but it really didn't take much to overcome my fear of sight reading, and at least to become a functional sight reader. अगर आप अपने sight reading skills को improve करना चाहते हो, या you just want to get into sight reading, the first thing to do is to really understand rhythm. अगर आप कोई भी example of sheet music लोगे, and you take away pitch, what you're left with are rhythmic patterns. अगर आप ये rhythmic patterns identify कर सकते हैं and you can replicate them, for example, 8th notes, 16th notes, triplets, and many others, then it's going to be really easy for you to sight read because all you have to do is add pitch on top. More importantly, और इसके अलावा अगर आप दूसरे musicians के साथ बजाना चाहते हो, then having an understanding of rhythms, being able to replicate rhythms, and being able to change rhythms is vital, not only to improvisation, but just being a good musician. So here are 9 essential rhythmic patterns to get us started. First, we're going to subdivide a quarter note into 8th notes, 16th notes, and triplets. This is our core family. Then we're going to combine 8th notes and 16th notes to create 3 additional patterns, and then dotted 8th and 16th notes to create 2 more patterns. And in total, we'll have 9 patterns to play with. My name's Karan Khosla, and welcome to the Goa Jazz Academy. If you like our content, then do spend a moment to subscribe to the channel. Let's have some fun. आपको pulse और rhythm के बीच में difference पता है? Well, in case you don't, let me try and help you. I found this some time ago. I'm not sure where, somewhere on the internet, but it's something like a little nursery rhyme that explains the difference between the two. And it goes like this. The pulse stays the same, the pulse stays the same, but the rhythm changes with the words. So let's try and clap out the pulse. The pulse stays the same, the pulse stays the same, but the rhythm changes with the words. Now let's try the rhythm. The pulse stays the same, the pulse stays the same, but the rhythm changes with the words. Hopefully that gives you a little bit of an understanding about the difference between the two concepts. So what exactly is the problem? Rhythm में सबसे basic and at the same time most challenging aspect subdivision का होता है. For example, if we take a tempo of 60 beats per minute, this means कि every second the beat repeats like this. And we want to divide that beat into 2, which is what we call an 8th note. It should sound like this, where each beat is equally spaced. So each beat now repeats every half second. Problem kya hai? Well, unless we train ourselves to think in terms of subdivisions and practice these rhythmic patterns that we're going to learn with the metronome, we're going to be off time. It's going to sound a little funky when we play these rhythms. When we take an 8th note, for example, one note we would play maybe too early or too late, and the second we would do something similar. So in an exaggerated way, it would sound like this, as opposed to sounding like this. So in order to fix this, the first step is really to memorize हमें ये जो patterns हैं 8th notes, 16th notes, triplets and combinations on combinations of 8th and 16th notes, इनको memorize करना है in the right way. म्यूजिक में हम बीट्स और रिदम्स को मेजर्स या बार्स में ऑर्गेनाइज करते हैं. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, if our tempo is 60 beats per minute, इसका मतलब है कि each beat repeats every 1 second, as we had in the previous example. A collection of 4 beats makes one measure or bar. आप इन exercises में notice करोगे कि there are certain beats that are accented or played louder than other beats. एक measure में, for example, the first beat is the downbeat. It's a strong beat. The last beat is an upbeat and it's a weaker beat. In fact, beats 1 and 3 are strong beats and beats 2 and 4 are weak beats. Notice how the strong beat is louder than the weak beat. For example, if I were to play a measure of quarter beats, sound like this. 1, 2, 3. That's natural. That first beat is always a little louder. The first set of rhythms that we're going to do are the core family. Quarter notes, going into eighth notes, going into 16th notes, going into triplets. There are many ways to vocalize subdivisions. You can use conical, in which an eighth note would sound like this. Ta, ki, ta, ki, ta, ki, ta, ki. Or you could use vowels, for example, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. But for today, our idea is just to memorize these rhythmic patterns. And learning a whole new system is just one step away from that. So we're going to use a simple percussive sound that really emulates sort of a clap. It'll just be ta, 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 ta. You should get the job done. हर एक्सरसाइज के लिए मैं एक मेजर डेमोन्स्ट्रेट करूंगा एंड देन यू गोना प्रैक्टिस वन मेजर. हम अंडरलाइन पल्स अपने फुट के साथ टैप करेंगे एंड वी गोना क्लैप द रिदम ऑन टॉप. We're also going to vocalize the rhythm on top at the same time using a short percussive sound. Ta, 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 ta. Now you try it. Eighth notes. Ta, 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 ta. Now you try it. Subdivisions में भी हम notes को accent कर रहे हैं. The notes that fall on the pulse are the on-beat, and the notes that fall after the pulse are known as the off-beat. The ones that are the on-beat are accented louder. So for example, in eighth notes, you would have ta, 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 ta. Now, you can flip the accent around and accent the off-beat, and it would sound like this. Ta, 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 ta. So by changing where you place the accent, you change the feel of the rhythm. 16th note. Ta, 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 ta. You try it. Triplets. Ta, 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 ta. You try it. अब हम 8th notes और 16th notes को combine करेंगे to make new combination patterns. आपको याद होगा कि an 8th note takes half the or 50% of a beat. So जो balance 50% में है, we can put in 2 16th notes. और इसके साथ we can make 3 really interesting patterns. 8th note followed by 2 16th notes, 2 16th notes followed by an 8th note, and a 16th note followed by an 8th note followed by a 16th note. Ta, 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 ta. Now you try it. Ta, 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 ta. Now you try it. Ta 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 ta. Now you try it. Here are 2 more patterns. An eighth note takes up 50% of the beat. If I add a dot in front of the eighth, it now takes up 75% of the beat. So now I can make a dotted eighth, as they call this, combined with a 16th note. So I can have a dotted eighth followed by a 16th, and I can have a 16th followed by a dotted eighth. Let's explore these two rhythms. Ta 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 ta. Now you try it. Ta 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 ta. Now you try it. अब हम अपने 9 rhythms को instrument पे practice करेंगे. We're going to take one single note and practice all 9 rhythms without taking a rest, using just one single note. Let's dig in. अगर आपको इसके साथ दिक्कत आ रही है, then slow it down and even give yourself a 1 bar rest between each change of subdivision. For example, final exercise के लिए we're going to play the C major scale, ascending and descending, using the core family of rhythms that we just explored. We don't really have enough time to do all 9 rhythms, but I encourage you to try all the combinations and all the core family on your own. For a much deeper understanding of rhythm, I'm going to post some links that you can check out. There's some great lessons on YouTube and just on the web. अगर आप इंडिया में रहते हैं, I highly recommend you check out Srinath Srinivasan's Rhythm Experience. This is a truly fantastic workshop, and Srinath takes this across the country. We're really looking forward to having him do this at the Goa Jazz Academy again. So if you have any questions for me or us at the Goa Jazz Academy, please do email me at karan@goajazzacademy.com. And we'd love to see what you're working on. And if you have a few minutes, do check out some of the other videos in this lesson series and whatever else you found on our YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook. Have a great evening or day wherever you are.